you, Esa, for this. Really nice. For this very nice and clear presentation. It's open for a few questions, comments, if you like. There's one behind you.
One question. I've been in Qatar, so I know your facilities and they are great. But you don't have a lot of young players in Qatar itself. So you're recruiting all over the world. How do you do that? What criteria are you using to recruit young kids to come to Qatar and get their education over there?
You might be referring to our Football Dreams program, which is not recruiting players all over the world. It is a program what we have been running now 5 years, which is pretty much support and aid to the developing countries, to the boys. Let's say we have the countries which are involved are mainly African countries. We have some countries from South and Central America, and a couple of Asian countries. But when we go with this program to Africa, we are not going just to capitals where there are already clubs, where the European clubs, big clubs, go and take the players from the big club, from the clubs from the capitals. What we do is that we go to the villages. We go to the villages where the boys won't have a chance. No one else is going there. We then through the system, we will guarantee every year for 3 boys a scholarship in Aspire, where they will have the football development but also education. We also have an academy in Senegal, African academy, where the next level of African boys can go. It also has a school and has a program. Of course, it's not as well equipped as we have in Qatar.
Okay, but I do understand that, but the question is, what are the criteria to select these guys to come over to Qatar? What is talent, in your opinion?
Yeah. Criteria is that, of course, because it's a massive project. We screen about 700,000 players a year. These are 13-year-old players. Okay, in Africa you don't know necessarily, but we try to be quite brutal in that we don't take overage players. If they look old, we don't take them. Each country, there's what we call routes, where our staffing goes with the 4-wheel drives along the country, goes from the field to the field. The boys are playing games, local coordinators are organizing these games, and the scouts will pick up 50 boys from each country to the capital, where we have the country final. In country final, we will look the boys in the football context, so that's where our coaches will go there, our program director is there, and then one of the sports science staff will be there. We will also do the physical testing. But the selection is really a lot about how the scouts see the boys playing. This is the main criteria. But we support them with the physical data. The other thing is that, for example, if it's myself or one of my staff members and we are having those 50 boys, we are really looking the boys, okay? We try to see the maturity level as well. The problem is that you can't use the age at the big high velocity there because you can't guarantee that the date of birth is right. So that's briefly. Okay, then we have the international final. About 35 best boys will be in Qatar for 3 to 4 weeks. We have a camp. They will play football. We will do the physical testing, and there is interviews, and there's lots of information of the players. So, and finally, after the final, we do the final selections.
Thank you. May I just ask then the last question requires a very short answer. And now you have been there from the beginning, so to say, and it's fantastic development and facilities you do have. At the end of the game, it's the people that makes the difference, I could imagine. How have you seen the biggest development, and how have you seen the impact of having those possibilities in terms of youth development?
First of all, we have to remember that Qatar is a very, very small country. We are talking about a country which is 1.6 million people. From that, you have about 260,000 Qataris, 250,000 Qataris, no more. So if Slovenia was talking about that they have 40,000 registered players, that's small. I have heard that Qatar has 4,000 registered players. I think that's an overestimate. 4,000. So what we have seen is that when we started, and when the boys go out at the age of 12, and they played against European teams, we play always against 1 year younger European players. Size-wise, they are about the same. And we play, but the Europeans are 1 year younger. Then what happens is that the games are quite even. Once they are in our academy about 1.5 years, we can start to play the same age group with the European clubs, and we are competitive. So within 1 year and a half, we can catch up that difference. And I don't think the European boys are just waiting us, so they also prepare. Also, last year, we had first time ever, a 70-year-old boy was playing in Qatar senior national team. This has never happened before. So the goal is really to create a foundation for the players for the national team in the long term. And of course, in 11 years' time, we need to have a very, very good team. So this is quite a challenging task.
That's a bit of work to do, yes. Thank you very much. I think we should give Isa a hand.